What's up, guys and gals? My name is Splattercat. We are here at the Nerd Castle with the next episode in our Rimworld playthrough. In the previous episode, we had dealt with 2 Raider invasions, in fact, in one episode, so they're getting pretty frequent right now. We're starting to see that as a major problem for us. And we need to get ourselves some more metal. That's still the problem, is we've mined it out of the walls, but nobody's taking the time to come and haul it, so that is what it is. There's not a whole lot of biz that I can do with that shiz, so I suppose we'll continue mining down this way. And then once we've done that, we'll start planning out some of the new rooms that we're going to be making to move everything inside. We want everything out of the rain. We don't want to be outside ever if we can help it. We want our stockpiles inside. We want our food inside. We want our dead bodies inside. No, we don't want the dead bodies inside. I got a little bit ahead of myself. We don't need dead bodies inside. We just need everything else. What is that right there? The boom rat? Okay, well, chop the boom rat up into food if you can. I don't mind. Go ahead and do it. And then we're going to need to get all this hauling out of the way, too. And so luckily, we didn't have a whole lot of people who got wounded in the last playthrough, what I would like to accomplish in this episode. So we need to work on some beautification, too. I'm going to go to structure, and we're going to make this into a smooth stone arena so that everybody is a little bit happier with walking through it. And then once we've done that, we also want to make sure that some of these bodies get hauled. So I may pull some people out to go do that right this second. Our construction skills are high enough to where I feel as though I'm confident that we can get this done in a reasonable amount of time. It's not a waste of our time or effort, and plus this will make people a bit happier. We also need to do the same thing in here because people are bitching and moaning and complaining that, not you guys, our villagers are bitching and moaning and complaining that unfortunately they don't like the way the floor looks. And while I've never looked, when I'm being shot at, the last thing I do is look at the floor and I'm like, well, you know, we could install some granite. That's the last thing that I do, but apparently it's a really big deal to Rimworlders. Like, they want to walk on something nice. And so we'll try and get that done before the next Raider assault too. I mean, our kill room is doing a really great job at killing things, so it's already named after killing stuff, so we would hope that it would do the job properly, and it has. Now, the other thing that I want to do is make sure that we start hauling dead people out. And I don't know where those Molotovs went either. Did they drop the Molotovs, or did the Molotovs even get in here? There they are. The Molotovs we want to make sure we don't sell, because those are useful for us. We can use them to dispose of dead bodies. And we've got Nana the Chef. I said Chef instead of Chef. I don't know why I said that. Let's have Big Cook start moving some of these bodies around. Have Montoya take a couple too. And that will be their 2 jobs of the day. Like, when I see them coming back each time, I'll have them run another dead body. Big Cook's already back, so we'll have him prioritize the hauling of Nana. Montoya's back, so we'll have her prioritize the hauling of Kanayuke. Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? Oh, that's Drago. That's not Kanayuki. Where did Kanayuke go? And also, what is this? A combat supplier. The Wulan Consortium. The Wulan clan. Let's go ahead and go to open communications. We're going to sell off some of these guns to make some money. And so this is the principal reason why we wanted to have trading up and available once we get into the mid-game. Is because what we can do is we can go to the weapons menu over here and we can look at all of the guns that we have. And we can start getting rid of them. Now, the trader only has so much money. And so we may not be able to get rid of everything. I mean, a lot of the time it seems like I tap them out. There we go. And so we've got a lot of the guns sold off now. And what I want to do at this point is take all of their metal. And so there it is. We've taken 166 credits worth of 166 silvers worth of metal. And so now we're actually starting to stockpile things based on our own trade. And because we had this drop beacon right here, what you'll see is that they'll bring the money down and they'll drop it off right here. And so we got our metal. So everything that we traded, basically, they sent the money down. They basically dropped the money out of orbit. This money right here, it must be really well constructed if it can fall out of orbit. But I don't ask too many questions. I just let it happen. Montoya, are you going to bed? You're not. So let's go ahead and prioritize the hauling of somebody here, Mal. And once Mal has been hauled and taken out of our base, everything should be a little bit better. Other things that I need to set up is I need to start mining out new homes for all of our people. All of our people. And so we'll go right there. And you always want to give them 5x5s if you can help it. And that's going to be important because we have a bunch of people right now who are ready to join us. We have Albina, who I don't think I moved her prison. Oh, I did. I actually moved it all over. Okay, so that's fine. And so now that we've got smooth stone in here, we've also got smooth stone in here, things should go a little bit better for us. I mean, I don't want to say more smoothly because I don't want to be punny about the whole thing, if that even counts as a pun. It's a pretty lazy pun by my estimation, but still, we're gonna make it because we can. Squirrel the pilot is fully healed. And I think I'd like to illuminate this hallway too. Got a bunch of people ready to go. And as I said before, I'm not completely sure that this is gonna be enough for us to sustain ourselves. They don't seem to be focusing on it very heavily, but at the same time, I've got a lot of other jobs running too, so it may be one of those little things that just doesn't get done for a little bit. We are draining out our energy pretty quickly on all of this stuff. Oh, they are planting. Okay, good. Fantastic. So I will leave that on for now. We are going through battery power very, very rapidly, though. So it may be time... I wish I could prioritize for everybody... I mean, I can. I could do it the... I'm trying to be lazy about it. But anyways. Actually, what I can do is we can do it like this as soon as they're done with the planting season. And I'll wait till Big Cook's good to go. Okay, so Big Cook is ready to go. And I'm going to have everybody... Can I do that? No, it's not going to let me. Unfortunate. It's only going to let me single target do it. Okay, well, we could think about then going to our overview and we go to manual priorities. We could say that hauling is like job number 1 right now, and until the hauling is done, nobody else do anything. And so I am going to do that. And then once everybody has done their daily haul, we'll have everything situated like where we want it, and then we can decide what our next goals are going to be. And so there it is. Lots of hauling going down right now. We should also be able to get rid of some of these dead bodies, move some of the guns and things around. I don't know if they select what they're going to haul by how close it is first, and then they go to the further away stuff, but I would really prefer that they go get some of the metal while we're on task here. We should have enough electricity to last us until the eclipse is over. We've got a pod crash over here where we could potentially get ourselves a new villager. Or a new Rimworlder. Gotta find somebody that's not totally bummed out. And I think we could presumably send her to go arrest Will. And then my other thing that I'd like to do is let's get going now rather than later with the new geothermal. Because we are just not doing it with power right now, and I want to do it with power. I think that's ultimately the goal that I would like to set before us, is that we need to be doing it with power before we do anything else in the game. We've got Ratlord Interplanetary. That's a strange name, but okay. We're going to trade for all of their metal. They've got 774. And we are actually going to cash out, because one of the big problems that I run into when I play this game is that I have too much money on hand. And so we want to cash out whenever we can. And so let's go. We have 1012. And I really hate that noise. There it is. And so we'll trade for 551 metal right this second. And so there it is. It has now landed on the ground. We don't have to trade for anything else right now because we've got a veritable shit ton of food. I mean, we've got more food than we know what to do with at the moment. As soon as that's up and running, we'll wire it all together with our structural menu. And unfortunately, this is going to be outdoors. I have heard some people... There's like this weird urban legend right now that these being out in the rain will cause them to explode. I don't know. They seem to explode anyways. So it's one of those things that I don't tend to worry about. I just fix it whenever it happens and then, you know, expand the security zone basically to include fires in this region, and then we'll just kind of fix the problems as they come along. Our electricity is now officially pretty much out, which is bad. Oh, I left a Nessa. That's really terrible too. Bad gameplay is bad. Alright, well, let's go ahead and trigger her up for being recruited too. None of the mining has been finished, so we need to build a stone wall down here to complete that, because somehow I messed that up without noticing. We also need to put in a couple standing lamps so that when they're walking down the hallways out here, they don't get all depressed. Because that's always a big issue. And so there it is. Apparently something hilarious is happening outside. I don't know what it is about. I must have moved into the most noisy apartment ever. There seems to be general merrymaking outside my apartment every day, and you guys aren't going to be privy to it because noise filtered. But anyways, it seems as though every day we have a daily, like, parade where everybody goes by clanking pots and pans and just generally being happy. And that's cool. They're infected with happiness. I can feel that. But also my neighbor has taken up falsetto singing, which is one of those weird situations where it's both awkward and also, as someone with a healthy respect for Tiny Tim, I could get behind it. But at the same time, the walls are like as thin as my hands, so it's like, He appears to be taking damage for a reason that I know not why. Oh, it's because we've got hauling as our number one dealio. Let's go ahead and take that off. I don't think they're going to listen to me anyways. I tried to get them to haul the metal, and they just don't appear to be doing it, and I want to make sure that none of my prisoners die. We'll swap everything back to just normal priorities because I don't care. And there we are. I'm lazy. I don't like managing all my priorities manually. It's just like, takes too long. You can do it, and you can run a really, really efficient base, and you know what? I'm envious of people who have the patience and the time to do it. Those people are not me. I am not that guy. I'm the kind of person that just kind of plays it out until things are really, really ugly, and then I complain about it later on, and I'm just like, you know. We got a bunch of things. We got a cargo unit that's crashing down from outer space. That one's a little bit closer, but still not close enough to justify me hauling it. We've already traded with them and taken all of their metal. And is Wulan Consortium still here? No, I was going to say, I thought they left. Okay, I was going to say, I've got more guns for them. If they would like to purchase more guns from me, I think they were out of silver, though. So that may have been another major problem that they ran into. We should have no power issues from here on out. Our power should be really well regulated, as far as I understand it. We've also got a lot of metal hanging out, which is nice. Not like a shit ton of metal. I mean, I would like to have a lot more metal, but we do have this little supply over here that nobody's fiddling with. We've got lots of food coming in. It appears as though the potato farms are not being managed quite as well as I'd like them to be managed, but I can live with it right now. We haven't recruited anybody else, so let's go to the furniture menu, and we're going to start dropping beds and things back in these rooms. So there's 2 more beds. Put in a standing lamp. You always want to have some kind of light source for their room, and then you always want to have, let's see here, you always want to have plant pots just kind of around. They really, really like having pot around, and so we're going to try and keep that going. I'm going to run a conduit down that hallway too because we've got excess metal at the moment. And at this point, because our kill room has become so efficient, what we really want to focus on is recruiting as many people as we can. If we can get ourselves up to 10 or 15 villagers or 10 or 15 Rimworlders, we will last forever. Basically, the game will become self-sustainable and you will never lose. I may also have to set up another set of hydroponics here. I don't think that... We're still having to rely on strawberries, I think. Our amount of potatoes is dropping off pretty rapidly, and our amount of strawberries seems to be what's filling in the surplus. And so I like strawberries. I really like strawberries. In fact, I'm not the kind of person that eats a whole lot of healthy food ever, but when it comes to berries and things, I really do enjoy strawberries every now and again. They're not my absolute 100% favorite, but they are high up on the list. I'd put them in, like, they'd be top percentile somewhere. All the field work is being handled. We have Big Cook has successfully recruited Albina. Fantastic. Absolutely amazing. Let's go ahead and get rid of that bed right there. And hopefully they finish off this little room right here. Now, it is saying that we don't have a research project, but from my understanding, I don't think we have anything remaining. So yeah, we have Fear Tech, which allows you to make these little cages that you put dead bodies in, and then it makes all your people so afraid that they won't betray you. And that's kind of the opposite of making them happy. They're trying to develop the game where you can go in 2 different directions. You can either scare all of your villagers into believing in you as a leader, or you can just kind of make them happy, and that'll work out too. I tend to go with the making happy option because I'm not a dick. But let's go with that right there. We'll put in another standing lamp. Try and keep everything symmetrical, I guess, for now. And then I'd also like to go to our structural menu, and we will make all of this smooth stone. Actually, we have carpet now, don't we? Now that we have carpet, I'm kind of thinking about carpeting our entire base. That way I can actually color code it too. How much is it going to cost me in terms of metal to put in carpet on all this? $346. Can't afford it right now. The nice thing is that the stone is free, and we can put it in. We can put carpet over the top of it, and it'll still work out perfectly fine. Like nothing will go wrong. And so there it is. Hopefully the hauling gets done, and from here, I think the next thing that I'd like to install is a few more battery racks. So let's go to our buildings menu, and I'm going to put in another pack of batteries right there. And presumably, no, that's not going to be accessible. presumably another pack of batteries right there. So 5 more batteries should keep us pretty square with regards like how much energy we're going to be consuming as we play through the game. I think we should be all right. And then he recruited Will, so it's a good thing that right after we managed to get our final housing... Oh, we don't have doors on any of that. So let's go ahead and put in doors too. Those are going to be in the structural menu. So we'll go door, door, and door, because right now they're counting as a shared room. So if you leave doors off the places, basically if there's 3 people, 1 person sleeping in each bed, they'll be grumpy because they're sharing a room with other people and they like to be in their own little space. I'm watching the harvest right now as well because I want to make sure that we have enough potatoes to go around. If we don't, what I'll do is I'll put in another hydroponics garden, and while that is going to be really, really hard on our electrical supply, it's still going to be something that I think we need to rely on. It's going to happen either way. We don't have a choice. One way or another, we're going to have to situate ourselves around that thrust or around that proclamation. So we've got another combat supplier coming in, which is fantastic because we have a lot of guns to go. And so we are going to turn into kind of an intergalactic arms dealer if we can help it right now. He's got Uzis and charge rifles, and charge rifles are a really good investment. So if I had to rank like weapons you really, really want, if you're running this kill room strategy and I had to put things on a list for what you should be playing almost exclusively Uzis, shotguns, and R4 charge rifles. Don't mess with anything else. If you've got other guns, that's great, but don't use explosives because they blow up your cover, and then you end up with guys like fighting in this little hallway right here, and your turrets can't shoot them. They have to come around this corner in order for the strategy to work properly. Don't use sniper rifles. I've heard some people have had limited success with sniper rifles by making barricades and then having like 15 guys with sniper rifles and then 15 turrets as well. But in my experience, the enemy will have sniper rifles too, which means they will outrange your turrets, and then you're just in a big old long-range sniping battle. Sniper rifles do insane amounts of damage, and so I'd rather just pull them into a kill room and deal with it once we get there. So let's sell off some of these M24s. We don't want to sell the Molotovs. Remember, we're holding on to those so that we can get rid of dead bodies later on. But we do want to get rid of everything that... We'll go from the bottom because it's easier this way. So there we are. We've got ourselves 1344. We're going to buy out all of their metal. And so they've sent some silver down. They've also sent down a little bit of metal that we were able to buy off of them. Very cool. We are now square with regards to our cash situation. All of our recruiting has been done. All of the doors need to be placed now. And I don't know... I don't think anybody's done it yet. I think they're all kind of enamored with the planting process. And that's okay. I don't have a problem with them planting things, but we have another raider attack coming in. Which leads me to think, what do we have here? M24, pump shotgun, good. Max, does he have a gi on? Oh no, he's got armor. Okay, some of the guys as you get further into the game will have like this plate mail power armor looking stuff. From what I understand, it doesn't do anything. It just kind of looks cool. We've only got 1 set of frag grenades in there, so hopefully we'll be able to kill off Michael. He's a big target anyways, so... should be easy to aim for. Oh, wow, they landed right next to our base. We may actually aggro them on accident, simply just kind of doing our chores. Let's power up all the turrets. And we'll just wait and watch for now. I will have them put in a metal wall right there in the hopes that maybe... God, they're up close. Okay. I don't like it when they start this close to me. So we've got everybody now drafted. Let's get everybody inside the base. Because if they're not aware of us, I mean, there we are. We'll do a little dance right there. But once one of them targets you, you're good. Now, what happens if I don't go out there and bait them like that? Well, if I don't go out there and bait them like that, what will then happen... Oh, unfortunately, we've got a conduit out right there. I feel like a bit of a noob for not handling that, but... once people get inside the base, we'll start thinking about where we want to position people for the gun battle to come. This giant raging war here that we're about to have. And it's only going to get worse. I mean, at a certain point, it seems like they hit critical mass with how many enemies they can send at you. So just something to think about if you're getting frustrated with the way the game plays out. There we are. And so the second that they get in here, we should be able to pump them full of lead pretty easily. So Michael's already got a grenade out. And that's a really, really bad grenade. Because it could potentially cause, like, really bad damage to us. Okay, and so we lost a bunch of turrets on that one. What Michael is doing, I can't really tell you. Oh, never mind. I would like to cancel that order. There we go. So Michael's now down. The raiders will run away. And let's get everybody to work fixing the damage. Luckily, we've got plenty of metal. And so this is why, as the game gets longer and more brutal, kind of, and you're dealing with more and more enemies, the thing you want to watch out for is just making sure you always have metal on hand to repair the damage. If you don't have the metal to repair the damage, well, then I'm not sure what to tell you. So we need to fix the conduit down there. We need to fix the conduit right here, because I forgot to do it in the previous playthrough. We also got the scrap metal laying around. The nice thing also is that as you get further and further and further, I'm going to have him equip a pump shotgun. Is there anything else useful here? Yeah, give her an Uzi. Why not? The Uzi's the same thing as the pistol. It just fires a lot faster, so it's one of those items that you like to have on hand. It's a pistol that goes daka 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 instead of going pop pop. Pop pop pip pip, you know what I mean? So the Uzi is universally... I don't even know what happened right there. A conduit looks like it blew up in the wall, which is bad. I don't even know how to repair that right now. I mean, I guess the obvious thing to do would be to go like that. And then we'll construct a metal wall right there, and we'll take it slowly. And we have to hope that they don't trap themselves in the walls, because they will take a cue from Edgar Allan Poe and trap themselves in these little corners and all kinds of crazy stuff sometimes. The game doesn't... I wish that it did a pathfinding check before they built stuff to make sure that they had the space to move out on. And now we have to really sincerely hope we don't catch a raider attack in between here and maybe our next episode. I mean, we do want to stay safe for now. So let's go for a turret there. A turret there. Always out of explosive distance, remember. Always out of explosive distance. So that they don't blow up other turrets on accident. I don't think one right there would hurt either. I'm sort of limiting the space that my people can hide in when we're trying to fight the enemy, but simultaneously, the more turrets that we have in this room, the better off we are. Let's also deactivate all of these right now so that we're accruing a little bit of power. What happens when you have those power discharges is that it clears out all of your batteries. So you have an electrical explosion, it grounds out all your batteries so that you have no electricity left. So what we need to do now is slightly rebuild and just get all of our backup conduits going. And then once we've done that, I think we can be at least a little bit happier with the way that the game has played out for us. I think everything should be alright, though. I mean, our kill room is looking really, really spiffy. That turret may be a bit back. It may cause the power to go out, which can be kind of terrifying. If you have everybody on the edge of their wits anyways, and then the power goes out right after a battle, it can get you into trouble. But it looks like our wall has little eyes right now. It's got like a Dr. Doom thing going on. Like, there's its little mouth, and there's its eyes, like a Bender's eyes thing. I don't know. Bender Bending Rodriguez. That means you too, new turrets. You have to be turned off. I mean, we can't all be turned on all the time. Otherwise, society would just cease to function properly, I guess. Now that we've got everything done there, how's our food looking? I mean, our food is still looking sketch, so I think I am going to have to go ahead with the plan to make a secondary... Yeah, a secondary grow room, which is a little bit of a pain in the ass, but... We've got enough people right now to where I do think it's probably a good idea. I also want to track down people without guns, so let's pan through. And this may be one of the last things I do in this episode, but I want to pan through everybody here and make sure that I've got everybody with a firearm. Because I'm willing to bet that some people don't. So Albina, I guess take the pistol. And anybody else that doesn't have a firearm, they're all going over there. So Semyon's got one. Albina is about to get a pistol. Big Cook, too. Uzi. Pistola. All right. So for the guns that we have, we're hanging in there pretty well. With 2, I'm going to have her equip the Molotov cocktails. And what I want to have happen is we'll draft her. And then we'll throw Molotov cocktails down here to destroy some of these bodies. The local squirrel has gone mad and will attack everybody it sees. There we go. Ow! So the squirrel is now attacking me. It's like, don't burn my dead bodies. It's the world's only carnivorous squirrel, ready to steal from the bones of the dead. And if you get beat up by a squirrel right now, I swear to God, every time somebody gets beat up by a squirrel, I just want to headbutt a wall to death. It makes me upset. It really sincerely does. Now that the rain has stopped. There we go. So that should do it. Let's get her out of there. That fire will spread for quite some time. And if you wanted to do this a little bit more efficiently and make sure that you won't have any grass fires, what you can do is you can dig a cave, and you can put all the dead bodies in the cave, and once you do that, the flame won't travel very far in a cave. It won't go to smooth stone. It'll only travel in between the bodies. And so you can just throw the Molotov into the cave, and it'll burn out the whole cave without damaging anything. Kind of a cool idea. And the last thing we want with 2 is for her to be running around with a Molotov cocktail, so let's get her Uzi back before I forget, because I absolutely 100% will. I'll forget in a heartbeat. There we go. Much better. And so overall, things are looking pretty good for us here at New Guapington. I think this is an astute spot to break off the episode. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me in the Nerd Castle for yet another episode of Rimworld. Take care out there, everybody, and I will see you next time.